Hi, you've reached Prophetess Chastity Daniel with the Prophetess Thought of the Day. Say something. God has really been ministering to me about this subject. It is definitely the children are on the heart of God. And what I want to say to everyone today, saved and unsaved, whoever is listening and sees this video, when you see a child, when you know that a child, when you suspect, because of the signs, that a child is being abused, say something. And you may not be able to say it directly to the abuser or the abusers. You may not feel confident or safe. Say it to someone in authority. Speak to those who are in authority, child protective services, whatever it's called in your city, state, province, parish, because this is for all across the world. Children are not here to be abused, but unfortunately, people are, because of freedom, you got people having children at record rates who are not mentally stable enough to be raising a child, or their decision-making skills are not what they need to be. And so they may hook up with a man or a woman who is not mentally sound enough to be around a child. You got people who, maybe it's not them, maybe it's not you, I'm speaking to you, the parent, the guardian, whoever. Maybe it's not you, maybe it's the people you let in and out of your home. Maybe it's not your mate, maybe it's family members that you have around. But whatever the case may be, because everyone's not a bad parent. Some people just make bad decisions. Everyone is not the actual abuser, but many times it's the people that you let around you, have in and out, have around you, who you may trust. Again, I say, and I'm getting this in my spirit, family members who you say, well, you naturally would be comfortable with. You need to look for the signs. You need to know your children. You need to be able to notice. I hear God say, pay attention to your children. Some of you have to work, maybe you have to work 2 jobs, maybe you're working extra shifts, whatever the case may be. But you should know your son or your daughter or both, your children, enough to know when things are off. But hopping back on track, for the outsider, when you see a child when you know they are being abused, you need to report it. You need to speak to someone. God says, say something. Even if you're not 100% sure, but many times we know. God will, and those of us who are in Christ, He will show us when something is off with a child. It may not be outward signs, black eyes and bruises, but you'll just know. Because abuse can be sexual, it can be physical, it can be mental abuse. And God says spiritual abuse, but at the end of the day, abuse. Because, I know from my own experiences, I was abused as a child. And it starts in the home. And later in life, which is so crazy to me, there were people who would come to me who had seen certain things, who would know certain things, relatives, and express that they knew that this was going on, or it's so terrible that this was going on, and I knew this person was doing this right here, and oh my goodness, it was just terrible. And I'm like, why the heck didn't you say something? Why the heck didn't you do something? So I know this to be true myself. No one intervened, but yet they knew. Until I finally took matters into my own hands and left at a very early age. And that's a whole nother book. But the point of the story is people know. You know. Someone knows. You see something. that is off with this child. Or maybe you see bruises. Say something. Because on today, yes, God is judging you. Because there's someone or someone's who I am speaking to right now, and you know something is off with your niece, with your nephew, with the child that's next door to you, with the neighborhood child that's right across the street, Heshara Bahaya, with the child that you teach, with the child that you're putting care of as the daycare person or etc. Back in the day, I used to hear, oh, it takes a village to raise a child. We don't have that village necessarily anymore. Perilous times, and God says thousands of children are being abused daily, and people are turning a blind eye. So on today, I admonish you. If you know something, you suspect something, you see something, say something.